Hi everyone. Today I am here with a very special unboxing of my wife's special order Kelly 28 Ostrich, as well as a high-level overview of the Hermes special order process. So let's get right into the unboxing. All right, so here is the Kelly 28. It is actually a Kelly Sellier, which you can tell by the stitching on the outside. It's a much more structured, firmer look. We did not have any Sellier bags, so we decided to go with the Sellier for that reason. You can also see it is ostrich, and not just any ostrich, but a multicolor ostrich as well. On the front here, we have blue iris, which is a darker blue. And on the strap, on the handle as well, although you can't see much of it because it's covered with the twilly. And on the side, we have grease pearl. So with the multicolor bags, each bag will have different sections that have a primary and a secondary color. And when you actually go through the special order process, there will be a picture of each bag that will show you which parts of the bag will be what color. And you can also see here with the multicolor bag, we have contrast stitching. So the blue iris will have the stitching in grease pearl, and the grease pearl will have the stitching, if you can see it, in blue iris, which you can see right up in here. So that's what Hermes calls contrast stitching. Let me take off this strap here. So the other thing I will note here before we go inside is the hardware. So there's typically gold, palladium, and rose gold. But when you order a special order, you can actually do brushed palladium, or what we have here, which is a brushed gold. It is something that is unique to special orders. And the thought process here was we wanted to go with the color palette and hardware choice that would be sophisticated but still immediately obvious to anyone who is knowledgeable about Hermes that it was a special order bag, hence the brush gold choice, as well as the ostrich multicolor as well. So when I open up the bag, the first thing you will see in here above the hardware is the stamp. So you will often hear special orders called horseshoe stamp bags because of this horseshoe stamp that they put here to indicate that it is a special order bag. Inside is much as you would expect from Kelly. The inside is in blue iris as well, so the same color as the exterior. And we have the zipper in the gold, and then we have the two interior pockets as well, and I'll turn around the bag so you can see them. All right, we do have a twilly on the top as well, so I know you can't really see the handle, but as I mentioned earlier, you do see the grease pearl here with the blue iris contrast stitching and the brushed gold hardware. And I'll do a quick turn around the bag as well, so you can see around the back. And the other side. So we did elect to go with a twilly for this bag as well because of the oil stains on the hands and just try to protect the ostrich from the staining of the use. But in reality, when you use the bag, it is going to get stained. It is going to get a little bit of water on it. So you have to come to expect that. So before I move on to talk about more of the special order process, there's a couple of other things I want to show you. The first is the strap for the bag. So the Kelly does come with the optional shoulder strap. You can either hold it with the handle, or you can hook the shoulder strap right on here and use it. And it does come, the strap does come in the secondary color, which is, we have grease pearl with the contrast blue iris stitching. And the other side is plain, not plain, but grease pearl as well. You see a little bit of the ostrich skin right here. And there is a Hermes stamp right there. It does not have the horseshoe on it. That's only for the bag itself. Okay. And let's come to the clochette. So you can also see that it is in the secondary grease pearl color, the lock in the clochette itself with contrast stitching. And the other cool thing that you can do with a special order is add what is called a stamp. So we chose the horse head stamp because of Hermes's equestrian roots, and they put it right on the clochette as well. And the keys you can see are brushed gold, as well as the hardware on the lock itself. So before I move on to talk about the special order process, I will say that we did place this order in May of 2021, and we received it in July of 2022, so about a 14-month wait. We were told that the wait could be up to 2 or 3 years, especially with an ostrich choice for the leather, because those are more limited in quantity. But we were pleasantly surprised that we only needed to wait a little bit over a year. And when you purchase a special order bag, you pay the price of that bag when it is available. So you don't pay, in our case, we did not pay the 2021 price because it was available and finished in 2022. We ended up paying the 2022 price for the bag. And in July of 2022, a Kelly 28 Sellier, an ostrich like this, retails for $25,000. So now I will go and talk about the special order process. So the first part of the special order process is the hardest, and that is obviously getting offered the special order. So Hermes allocates a certain number of special orders per store based upon the size of that store and the amount of sales that the store does. So every year, each store will get a certain number of special orders, and then the store manager will then allocate the special orders to sales associates. Each store will have their own method for doing this. Some will get it proportional to their sales volume or tenure. Some might get it prioritized for new customers versus existing customers. It's really at the discretion of the store directors or store manager. And the best advice for getting a special order is to very much like the advice for how to get a Birkin or a Kelly or a Constance to begin with. Build up your relationship with a sales associate. Always shop with that associate. Even if you're buying small $50, $100 things, just build up that relationship with them over time, and periodically remind them of your interest of a special order bag, and eventually, hopefully, you will get offered a special order. There's really no trick or really concrete advice that anyone can give you beyond that. So once you are offered a special order, you will sit down with your sales associate, and they will typically have a paper form. And that paper form looks small, but it is actually quite complicated. So step number one is obviously choosing which type of bag you want. So there's obviously Birkin, Kelly, Constance. Those are the most common. But you can also do like 2424s or Boldies or Lindy's, or I even forget all the choices. There was about 15 or 20 different bag choices and styles that we had. So the list is quite exhaustive. Once you choose your bag, then you can choose whether or not you want to do what is called a line bag, which is all one solid color. You can do what they call a verso bag, which is two colors, but the exterior is all in one color and the interior is in the contrast color. So in contrast to a line, which would have interior and exterior all one color, the verso would have exterior all one color and then interior all in a different color. And then you can also do what they call multicolor, which is what we have here with the Kelly, where we have two different colors on the exterior. And then there's a new option for 2022 called Cacique, I believe. I'm probably not pronouncing that right. But you can actually have multiple areas on the exterior with different colors. So you might see a Kelly, for instance, where if you imagine it split in half, the left half would be one color, the right half would be one color, similarly on the inside. So a little bit of a different way of splitting up that multicolor bag. So once you decide what kind of color style you want, notice I didn't say what colors you want, I said what style of color you want. Then you would choose your leather. So typically for most special orders, those would be your normal leathers like Epsom, Togo, etc. Ostrich, although many people consider that to be an exotic leather, is actually, in Hermes's view, a regular leather for special orders. If you want an alligator or crocodile special order, you have to be specifically offered an alligator or crocodile special order. So something to keep in mind. They will also only allow certain leather combinations for certain bags and certain sizes. So your sales associate will have a sheet that lists out all the different leather combinations that are available for each bag and size. So something to keep in mind there as well. And to make things even more complicated, depending on your leather, that will dictate what colors that you can choose. So your choice of leather dictates how many colors that you have available to you. So typically speaking, your regular leathers like Epsom and Togo will have more colors available to them. The veau goat skin as well has a pretty nice selection color palette. Ostrich, alligator, and crocodile will still have some very nice selections, but there would be more restrictive because of the difficulty of those skins retaining many different colors. So that's probably the hardest part of the special order process, is deciding that right combination of bag, leather, and color. So once you do that, then you can choose your hardware. As I mentioned, you have palladium, gold, rose gold, and also brushed gold, which we have here, and brushed palladium. Then you have the option to add a stamp, like I showed you on the clochette. And then once all that is done, your sales associate will submit it to Paris. Unless there's a problem, it'll go through. and you begin the waiting process. It can be anywhere from, I've heard, as quick as 6 months, but that's a really extreme edge case. Very lucky to have it happen that quick. More often than not, it's somewhere, around 1.5 years, 2 years. Obviously, that can go up to 3 years depending on your choice of leather and how lucky you are. It seems like not necessarily the orders are worked in order received, so they may batch them up depending on the type of leather, the type of bag, and so on. So really hard to say, but you will wait, and then you'll get that call or text from your sales associate that your bag is in, and go pick it up. As I mentioned, you will pay the price, the retail price for that bag when you pick it up. So if you place your order in 2021, but your bag is not available until 2023, you will pay the 2023 price for the bag. Something to keep in mind. Also, each store does it differently, but your store may consider your special order to be part of your yearly quota when you place the order or when you pick up the bag. So it would be worth discussing that with your sales associate so you know whether or not your special order is going to count as one of your quota bags, and more importantly, how that bag will be counted, when that bag will be counted for your quota. So that was an overview of the special order process. Hopefully that you found that interesting. I know the process is quite intimidating, quite complex, so please feel free to leave any questions or comments below, and I will do my best to answer them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.